Georgians basically eat everything with bread. A bite of bread and a bite of whatever else you're eating. They have like the best juice over there too. We don't know how to make good juice here apparently. Divine nectar. I don't know how else to describe it. Their milk comes in boxes and it's not refrigerated until it's opened. They're very hospitable. I'd be walking down the street and we're trying to find this place, and I'd ask them on the street, hey, do you know where this address is? Not only do they point you, they'll take you, even if it's like 20 minutes outside of wherever they're going. Like they'll lead you and make sure you find it. They're very, very kind, very nice people. They have very large hearts and would really do anything for you. Family's very important to them. They often live together in extended families, and they would walk an extra mile for you. They drive kind of crazy over there, but they're all really good drivers. Lanes don't really mean anything, so they're all just kind of like weaving through, but no one ever gets any accidents, so they're all really good drivers amongst themselves, but I would be scared to drive among them. Public transportation, they have an underground metro in the capital city of Tbilisi. Also, they have what's called the marshrutka. Basically, they're like vans made for as minibuses. They have a number on the front. Each number drives a different route. You just flag them down somewhere on that route, and then you tell them to stop whenever you're at where you want them to stop. Georgia is a very safe place for tourists. They love foreigners. They really love Americans. For the most part, they're very tolerant of other religions. But for the most part, it's very safe. There was rarely ever that I felt in danger or scared. And for being a very large city, that says a lot about it, I think. There are a few times when you run into drunk people. They like drinking over there, and there's a lot of drunk people on the street sometimes. But they're usually pretty easy to run away from because they're really drunk. And I had to do that a few times, but it wasn't that hard. They don't get very far without falling over. Georgia, as tradition goes, actually invented wine. The Georgian word for wine is ruino. They do love their wine, and they do love their beer and their vodka like any former Soviet country. I dream of the food in Georgia still because I fell in love with it. They have what's called cheese bread, called khachapuri, bread with cheese baked into it. It's really good. And a similar thing called lobiani, like bread with beans cooked into it. Khinkali, they eat a lot of that. It's really good. It's basically like little dumplings with like meat or potato inside, or cheese or other things. They eat a lot of meat. They have a mutsvadi, like a barbecue. They get chunks of meat that have been marinated and put them on a skewer, and that's really good. They have this drink over there that I haven't been able to find anywhere else. This is just soda, like a regular soda, but it's pear flavored. And it's so good. I'm sad we don't have it here in the U.S. Maybe I should import it and sell it and make a lot of money. They do have really good bread. They have like these big old domes with fire, like these clay domes with fire at the bottom and a hole on the top. They spread out like the dough over like this little pallet thing. Then they reach down and stick it on the bottom of the oven, and it just cooks there stuck to the oven, and it's really, really good. It's good when it's right out of the oven. It's really hot and crispy, and then even when it cools down, it's really good. My mouth is watering right now. So Armenia prides itself as the first official Christian country. Christianity was in other countries before, but it became the national religion in the 4th or 5th century, and Georgia was shortly after the second. Armenia and Georgia were the first official Christian countries, and they're very proud of that. And Armenia, the national religion is Armenian Apostolic, and Georgia, the national religion is Georgian Orthodox. Some of Christ's original apostles went and preached in those countries. At least one is buried there in Georgia. Religion plays a huge role in the people's lives. There's churches everywhere, and they're all very old churches and awesome to see, and all their holidays basically revolve around their religion, except for New Year's, which is probably their biggest holiday. Christmas over there is more of a religious holiday, and New Year's is kind of like the big like presents and fireworks and celebrations, and they actually celebrate Christmas and New Year's twice, 2 weeks after each other, because of different calendars that they've gone over, that they've used over history. In Armenia, they speak Armenian, and in Georgia, they speak Georgian, both of which have their own alphabets. And tradition goes that they are actually, the alphabets were created by the same person, that until that time they were both just spoken languages.